Congratulations on the victory tonight. Uh, how did you think about this one as the game evolves, coming out of the gates and kind of getting pummeled a little bit in that first half, but then very successfully shutting down the spaces that Vancouver had in the second half? Was it uh, kind of what you expected, or were you hoping maybe to be more on the front foot?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't, pummeled is maybe a fair word, but early on, we've pummeled other teams, right? We've pummeled other teams, and I've been unfortunate not to score, not to be up front, and not just home but away early in the game as well. So that's the game we play, and credit to Daniel and our backs to just suffer, like the whole team to suffer, find a way, and grind through it and get pressure on the ball and get pressure on the ball. So I'm sorry, and deny and block and and make plays, and a lot of them were in our box, but that's the name of the game. This is a hard place to play. Vancouver has a high XG in the league, and they showed it. They showed it. So, but to get a zero here is super difficult, and I have to be really proud again of our guys to show their togetherness, their mental strength, and their ability to grind and over 90 plus minutes show resilience and to find a way to win the game. Beautiful counter, with Jabo and connecting with Christian and Christian's continuing to be dangerous and what a sacrifice run to get in the box and get on the end of that. So, um, we made some adjustments second half to just more to absorb more in the midfield and to try to deny central passes and know that the game was going to be played a little bit more in our half because they're going to push it. And we felt like with compactness and hard work, we could still win balls and hurt and attack them in open spaces. We did do that. We just didn't create the finishing actions and creating goal scoring opportunities. But I'm proud of the way we defended, more so in the second half when we were more compact. And it's a golden 3 points. So we'll take it and learn from it and now prepare against Kansas City.
We'll take a next question from Jamin Moore.
Hey, Luchi. I'm here at the stadium tonight. Congratulations on the win. In the first half, you alluded to it. It felt like they had a little bit too easy of a time kind of breaking lines and being able to get through the central midfield and the 4-3-3 defensively that you had set up. But it looks like you made some adjustments, like you said, at halftime into more of a 4-4-2 and then to the three backs in the end and shut down the middle a lot better and force them into wide areas to put in a bunch of crosses that you could clear. Can you talk a bit more about kind of the challenges that they posed and those defensive adjustments? Thank you.
Yeah, look, we try to build pressure with against our three center backs with Christian, Jabo, and Mito, and they did a good job like releasing and getting pressure on them. But they kept bouncing wing back to Kubas, and Kubas kept finding that pocket, and it was hard to get pressure on Kubas when it was their three mids versus our two. So credit to them, they played out better than we expected in the first half with like I said, bounces into Kubas. Kubas is a really good player. He's always coming to the ball. He's always providing outlets for them. Um, and they broke lines on us and they accelerated the attack and we had to deal with that, recover centrally, get behind the ball, and defend in low block. The adjustment in the second half was 4-5-1 to just give some more compactness into 4-4-2, like offset 4-4-2, with Mito having a little more freedom with Jabo to release, but keeping Christian connected, keeping Cade connected, and not really releasing as much with the capo, keeping him in the back four. And I think it was better. We absorbed more. We didn't have a lot of the ball, but we were more compact, we were more organized, and then we I would like us to be more dangerous in offensive transition, but it didn't happen. And I appreciate you making the trip here, Jamin, to not uh, I would say support slash cover us, but I appreciate you making the trip out here to see the guys.
We will close with the final question from Robert Jonas.
Thanks, Coach. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it up to Vancouver as my passport is currently expired, but I hope to have that corrected before the
Next
playoff
time.
run, if with any luck. The headlines could easily write that this was a smash and grab, that Danielle was clearly the player of the match for your team. But I was curious how you saw the central midfielder pairing of Carlos Grueso and Michael Baldissimo. Without Jackson Yule, you had to make some changes, and Baldissimo is a player that clearly has a familiarity with Vancouver. How did that play into deciding to give him the start, and what did you see out of that central midfield duo tonight that helped you with the win?
Yeah, they did okay. Baldy's a really good footballer. He's confident on the ball. He connects his passes. He has courage to play and connect. So he had a lot of work to do defensively. You know, we subbed him and he left everything on the field physically, mentally. But you know, I thought he did a solid job. He has a lot of experience in the stadium. He knows this team better than any of our players. So you know, and we didn't have Jackson available. Judson still coming back from an injury. So we're you know, he stepped it up and the best he could, and we got the job done. You know, and then it was nice to you know Nico coming into the game. Nico's been competing in you know this kind of eight two-way box to box midfielder because he has tools and he's a developing player that has versatility in the midfield. So there was a focus on him having to help us maybe in a lower role, and he got the job done like you saw today with some good management. I thought he gave us some good spells of possession and also a player that has courage between the lines to bounce to come to get on the ball and connect, and then defensively he worked really hard next to Gresso to kind of make it difficult to play between the lines.
And oops, a quick apology to Ryan, but a quick follow up. I know he said I should only have one question here, but I think you're used to me asking more than one. This was an important game for you guys. This is a team that you are arguably fighting against to make the playoffs, and now you have 6 points out of 2 games. You know, how does that sort of weigh into the sort of the kind of the joy you experience at the result tonight?
Look, I said this you know, when we finished the LAFC game before the Seattle game at home. I just and the way the guys were training and everything we were experiencing, I felt like we were figuring some things out and how we could build pressure, defend collectively, and get our XG up to attack. I know our XG wasn't high today, but we got to improve that. But I just felt like we were doing some things better. We had a rough patch there in July and with injuries and missing players and calls, but the group kept working, kept adapting, and I saw a good shift in momentum. You know, disappointing not to get farther in Leagues Cup. I'm actually really proud of our performance, as I said before, against Tigres. Thought we were unlucky not to score and then make that a different game, but you know that's a heck of a team, and it didn't happen. But I'm proud of our intentions, and we needed to be patient. We got a little rest. We worked hard in the training. We simulated things. We knew that this was our opportunity to get back in that flow and that rhythm in the league, and you know the guys pulled it off. Credit to them. It wasn't easy, and Vancouver's a very good team. So let's get a rest, and now we got another war against a Kansas City team that's playing well. I know Leagues Cup they're frustrated with that, but you know it wasn't their night. They're a heck of a team. They're a heck of a team. They have good players. It's going to be a big challenge next week.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes tonight's media availability.